So today's topic, I'm going to talk about pollination. So right here we have a pumpkin blossom. So from this you get this, but something else has to happen in order for this blossom to become a pumpkin. And I understand you guys visited Miss Rohrbeck's room, so I'm sure you might already know something about this. It starts with a P. Do you guys know what that is? Yes.
Pollination?
Pollination, exactly. So a bee has to send pollen from this flower, from another flower, into this flower in order to create this pumpkin.
Do you want me to be in charge of that?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
So pollination is when pollen from another flower is transferred into a different flower, so that flower has the ability to produce an offspring. So basically every organism strives to produce more of themselves. So when you have a flower, what does that flower come from?
Another flower.
Another flower? I'm looking for another word. I think you had it.
Seeds?
A seed, yes, exactly. So those seeds come from different forms. Next slide. So the seeds are either in a fruit or a vegetable. You know, when you cut open an apple or eat down to the rind, you see the seeds inside?
Yeah.
Or you can get all like almonds. They're also a seed, but they're nuts that you eat as well that comes from a flower.
Can you plant an almond seed? Will it grow something?
No, the almonds you eat are roasted and baked, so they no longer have the ability to grow.
They killed all the good stuff.
So we're going to focus on that definition, transfer of pollen. So the bees, they are the key thing in that transfer. Do you notice how this bee is covered with hair?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So have you ever rubbed a balloon to your head and the balloon just stuck there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the same thing happens when a bee is in a flower full of pollen. See, the pollen acts like the balloon. When the bee rubs into the flower, all the pollen sticks to her like a whole bunch of tiny balloons on her. And so that pollen sometimes gathers up onto her legs, and so once in a while you might see a bee fly around with yellow legs. Well, that yellow legs are called a pollen basket. Go ahead. See, something really cool about honeybees is they do something called flower fidelity. And so this means that that flower will stay true or only visit that kind of flower the entire time that flower is in blossom. So right here is an apple orchard. So all the honeybees will visit every single flower to make sure all the flowers get pollinated, or so they can get the nectar from each flower. And this is really important in commercial beekeeping. In commercial beekeeping is where a professional beekeeper will take semi-loads of bees to different places around the country to pollinate different foods and crops. So here we have a semi-truck full of bees. So just like us, how we go out during the day, we also come back at night. The same things with bees. They'll go out and do their work during the day and come at night. So when they're out during the day, do you think it's smart that the truck will go out during the day to send the bees somewhere else, leaving all the bees behind? No. So they'll wait until it's at night to move those big, large trucks of bees somewhere else. So when I talked about flower fidelity, who remembers what flower fidelity was, what I said? Do you remember? You want to give a guess?
When they visit every flower just to make sure there's pollen in it, or to grab the pollen?
Yeah, pretty much. So like I said, flower fidelity is when they make sure they visit every single same kind of flower until that bloom or that blossom is no longer on the tree. So here we actually have the almond blossom. So did you guys know that almonds actually grow on trees?
No.
Learn something new every day then. So almonds are actually grown on trees, and they're grown mainly in California, because California is actually the world's leading producer in almonds. And so these trees only blossom in a short span of a couple of weeks. And the only way they produce these almonds unless the bees, these commercial beekeepers, bring their bees there. So if these almond blossoms come into bloom early, the commercial beekeepers almost have to drop what they're doing somewhere else to make sure that these almonds get pollinated. And so you see that the beekeepers place the hives of bees in certain spots to make sure that every blossom gets pollinated. And currently, right now in the United States, there is 2.64 million hives of bees going around the United States pollinating different crops. So why I told you all of this is that honeybees are really important in agriculture. Who knows what agriculture is? Go ahead, do you want to tell me?
Crops or plants?
Crops and plants, yep, that's it. That's basically it. So agriculture is pretty much the practice of raising crops or animals to produce food. And so honeybees, believe it or not, have a huge part in that. So here I have a picture of a grocery store with bees that have pollinated the different crops in there and without pollinated. So do you see all these foods that are no longer in the store? Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Do you see there's no longer apples, there's no longer lemons, what's your favorite food, guys?
I like green apples.
Green apples? There wouldn't be any green apples without honeybees. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but 1 in every 3 bites you take has an influence from the bees. So either you're eating an animal that has eaten something that the bee has pollinated, or you're eating the apple the bee has pollinated. So with that, we are actually going to do an activity to show pollination. So now I put you in groups of partners. So you guys are going to work together to put this together. So can I have one partner hold up their toothbrush head? Yes. Now while that person is holding it up, hold it up so I can see it. There you go. While that person is holding up their toothbrush head, there is a piece of very special sticky tape. It's 2-sided tape. It's a little foamy. Can you guys hold that up? Yep, it's 2-sided. All right. So once you're holding that up, the partner holding the tape up, peel off one side. So everyone have their sticky side out? Stick it on top of the toothbrush. Not on the bristle side, on top of the smooth plastic side.
Do you have to take both sides off?
You will eventually.
So right now you don't.
Well, that's the next step, so. You guys working together?
Should it bend at all?
Yeah, it should be flush. It should be wrapped around. Yep. If it's out, it's okay. All right, now peel the other side of the sticky tape off. And while one partner is doing that, there should be a little motor in your bags. Hold that up too. You guys holding it up? Thank you very much. Is the other side peeled off yet?
Yeah.
No? Okay, one more second. So I hear some of you have already figured it out.
Yes.
So hold up your motor.
It's so cool.
So you're gonna put everyone pull apart your wires, but don't pull them too hard, just enough to separate them. All right, after you do that, you're going to stick, you see the side that spins? The side that spins, you're going to stick that off the cut end of the toothbrush. So that, yep, so that one wire is down onto the tape and one wire is sticking up into the air, okay?
So is it like right here?
So we're going to go ahead. Okay. So everyone looking? Everyone up? We're going to go like that. Like that. So that the spinning side is off the edge.
Oh, that makes sense.
Ours sticks like this.
Other way. Do it as best you can. So you're going to stick the battery. Make sure one wire is against the tape, okay? One wire against the tape and one wire up towards the air. Whoever has it, make sure you help your neighbors, okay? Yep, perfect. Now, one partner, once you have that done, you're going to stick your battery, doesn't matter which side, onto the wire onto the tape. So the wire is on the tape, you're going to stick your battery right on top of it. No, it doesn't matter what side.
Should stick on.
It should stick.
I know.
So while the partner is doing that, hold up your B stickers.
What if your wire's too long?
Your wire's too long, you can bend it so it fits onto the tape.
Oh, okay.
Got it? You're going to place the other end of the wire on top of the battery. And when you do that, you should feel the motor moving. Right?
Ours isn't moving.
Yours isn't moving? Okay, give me 1 second.
Ours is
Change the battery.
It's I moved it.
Yours isn't moving?
How to make your own.
Okay, so you want to make sure this wire.
Got it. Where do you put it? Guys, where do you put the B sticker?
See how that wire is on the end? There you go. And then, so everyone have their B sticker out?
You can see it better. It's so weird.
Watch your vibrate. Stop.
Weird.
Watch your vibrate.
Right.
Stop.
Oh, it's vibrating. Here, I'm
Everyone, up here, I have one more thing to say. So now that you made your bees, now you can remember that how bees are important to your everyday life and the food you eat every single day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Do you want me back?